Worry about that.
I should, with him, not try to change my mind, bring up new thoughts that he might be.
So, the avoiding him, if it is a necessary one, you have to avoid, because he will, if you go with him, will create more problem. Then you can avoid him, as he will create more problem. So for the reason of some external adjustment alone, you have to avoid him. But you need not avoid him, as he created some bad feeling within yourself. Because the bad feeling it will go away very soon. If you accept your bad feeling, bad emotion, it will go very soon. You need not worry about that. You may look upon for somebody may have some dangerous disease. Somebody may have some problem in their disease. Their total body will be in the decaying condition. And for example, if the person or some person, you may look certain person, some leprosy, they may be in the leprosy person. For example, if you ask him, what will he tell? If he, in the first instance, when he understands he got the disease, he cannot sleep in the night, because it will be very torture. Because he will think about the disease, and he will agitated within himself, and he will be very painful psychologically. But if some years goes to one after another, after some or more years, he will often play with somebody else. But he will simply forget. He will take the matter very easy. So when you take the matter very easy, the psychological factor also becomes very easy. But here, in the same way, if you take the psychological matter is very easy, it will go away very soon. Even though you have not changed the situation may be same, but the psychologically, if you accept the reaction is very easily. If you accept the psychological reaction very easy, the reaction will go very soon. But in an ordinary person, it may take time. For the leper, for a deceased person, if it is having some disease, it may take some years. But if you understand, if you are able to separate the psychological factor from the physical factor, and if you are free to accept the psychological pain, and you can be relieved from the pain very soon. Within 1 or 2 days you will be free. But if it is an ordinary person, it may take years. But you can be free within days, within hours. Then there is no end. It will come always. We cannot imagine a state where there is no emotion, there is no controller. It will come like that. It is continuously, it will be there. But it will be in the flowing state. We have to give total freedom. Whether they are functioning freely or not is the problem. We give total freedom, they will go very freely and they will function freely. And they will not create any problem. They will function without creating any problem. But even though you understand, you have the proper understanding, even after the understanding, they will be there. You have all emotions, you will have the controller, everything will be there. The emotion will be there, but there will be no problem, there will be no contradiction, there will be no struggle. Without struggle, they will flow. Come and go, come and go. Whenever you go to sleep or in a samadhi state, then you do not have any thought. So whenever you have the thought, you will have the emotion and the controller or the me, everything will be there. For example, you are having a dream in the night. So in the dream, what is the dream? Dream is nothing but our thought. So in our waking state, we have the thought. So in the same way, in the sleep also, we have a different kind of thought. This thought creates the dream. So in the dream, there is only thought. There is no real situation, but only thought alone is there. But in the thought, there is the emotion and the controller also there. So everything is created by the thought. So all the products of our thought. So actually there is a single moment of thought. But in the single movement, there is a duality. The controller, the me, and the experience, everything is there. The emotions are there, the me is there. Both are there. But here, as in the case of in the waking hours, when there is when the me in the dream wants to be free from the situation, struggle in the situation, some agony is going on. The agony will be there in the dream itself. Some problems, some fear, agony, everything will be there in the dream. So if you are able to accept the control, if you give, but it is possible for the freedom in the dream. But in the waking hours alone, we can be free from our thought, because we know everything is happening. Actually, the emotion and the me, everything is a product of our thought, product of a single thought. So as a single thought moves, the emotion and the me also will be moving. So the free flow must be there. So whenever this I want, this I don't want, when we say like this, then only then there is a struggle between the controller and the emotion. Otherwise there will be no struggle. So both will go flow in a flow. Is any psychological reason?
Yeah, why I like this and
So here, it is our natural, because our intellect has to do something. The intellect is developed like this to do something. If you do not have any intellect to do something, you cannot live in this world. You have to select things. So that is the nature of our intellect. But the intellect has the limitation only in the material world. But it applies the same rule to itself. So that is the problem. Actually, the basic problem is it has no knowledge how to divide the external and internal. Our intellect has duty, intellect has powerful, intellect is necessary with related to the material world and the physical world. But it is useless and waste if it is related to the psychological world. Our intellect is the problem. Our intellect itself is the problem if it deals with the psychological matter. But at the same time, if it is deal with the external thing, it is a blessing. So our intellect is a good thing. Our intellect itself is a blessing if it is related to the external world and physical world. But it is the problem, it is the curse, it is the problem, everything, if it is related to the psychology.